All right, we'd like to welcome current FedEx Cup leader and former Texas Longhorn Scottie Scheffler to the interview room here at the WGC Dell Technologies Match Play. Scottie, certainly good performance for you here last year, runner-up, and coming off 2 wins over the last few months. Maybe just a couple opening comments on your game.
My game feels like it's in a good spot. I've had some good starts here recently. It's good to be back in Austin. We got some good friends that live down here, and last year was such a dream getting to play in front of all the fans, and so I'm really looking forward to this week.
Okay, we'll turn it over to some questions. Cameron?
Scottie, you've probably been watching the basketball tournament a little bit. How would you describe the importance of seeding in that versus the importance of seeding in this tournament?
It's a good question. I have no idea. Seeding in that, it seems like both of them, anything's going to happen. I would say it's probably more likely for the 64 guy to beat the 1 guy in golf than it is in basketball. But, obviously the brackets are, I don't know about your bracket, but my bracket sucks. So it's already busted. But I would say it's probably more important in basketball.
Do you even look at the seeds in this tournament?
In this tournament, I mean, not really. I know we have like the kind of ABCD thing going, but I mean, they could really kind of randomize it to a point. Seeding's not too important here.
Okay, Shane.
Hey, Scottie. First off, if somebody were to ask you for your 1 or 2 best pieces of advice on match play, whether that's psychological, practical, whatever, what would you say?
I'd say for the most part, I think people overthink it. I think a lot of people put too much strategy into giving putts or random stuff like that. But for the most part, just kind of sticking to your game plan. I think the only time your game plan really changes is if the guy you're playing against makes a really big mistake.
And then in your group, I noticed you're drawn with 3 British golfers. Do you think there's going to be some kind of collective revenge for the Ryder Cup there? What did you think when you saw that?
I hope not. That'd be bad news for me. No, I've both those guys, or all 3 of those guys, they're all really good guys, and it should be a fun week. It's kind of funny that Poulter is the lowest ranked player out of the group, and he's got a pretty good match play record. So should be a good challenge for all of us, and it'll be a fun week.
And sorry, last, anything specific you remember from playing Ian last year?
Yeah, I remember most of the match. That was a pretty important match for me, with it being the round of 16 and going up against somebody, who's obviously so great in match play. And, I have a lot of good memories of that match. And, Ian made a couple of long putts, and, I made, just barely enough birdies just to beat him.
Okay. Doug?
Just wanted to ask you, in looking back last year, did you learn anything? That's pretty vague. Let me start over if you don't mind. Who are you anyway? No. Yeah. Just in terms of group play and then into the knockout stage and whatever. That was probably, I'm assuming, the first time in that format for you.
Yeah, it was a longer week than I expected. I think, probably towards the end, the 4 of us that played 36 holes on Sunday definitely ran out of gas for sure. It was a long week, but it was a ton of fun. I just kind of learned a little bit about kind of keeping that energy level high and, make sure I get my rest at the beginning of this week because it really is a long week.
Yep. Yep. Right. Yep.
Shouldn't be that hard. Thanks. In terms of keeping your energy level high, I was kind of struck by Sam last week talking about trying to keep his low at least through the week, and that's probably coming off, I think it was at Bay Hill, but then the Players in that long week and just trying to conserve as he was playing. What's the difference of trying not to run out of gas and trying to keep your focus and energy high, if that makes sense?
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I may have misspoke. I was more so saying, like, keeping the energy high as the week goes on. Last year in the tournament, I felt like I was playing better as the week went on, but my energy levels kind of went down. And so that's just kind of managing my prep going into the tournament week, and then, Monday and Tuesday, handling it a little bit differently.
Okay, we'll do Brentley and then Kirk.
Scottie, obviously this week you guys are playing match play. There's a team event in Zurich. I'm just curious if there's any other format or type of tournament that you'd like to see played on tour. I don't know what games you play at home, if any of that could translate to this schedule.
I can't even really think of another format outside of Stableford. I would say I think we got a good mix. I feel like we could see a little bit more match play throughout the year. But, you know, we play a great schedule as it is, so it's kind of hard to, you know, pinpoint on one thing that could really improve the tour as it is. I really enjoy this week. It's a lot of fun. I think when they changed it over to the pool play, made it a lot better. Just because, like, let's say I go out tomorrow and Ian beats me on the 18th hole, I don't go home. I don't play 18 holes and then go home. You know, I still have 2 more days to play good golf, and, you know, we may end up in a playoff on Friday. You know, you don't really know what's going to happen with the pool play, and I think that was definitely a good improvement on this event.
Do you play skins or wolf or anything at home, or
Yeah.
do you think that could be potentially a 1 week? Why not?
I don't see it. I couldn't even begin to think how that would work out here, to be honest with you.
Okay, Kurt.
Hey, Scotty. When you won for the first time in Phoenix, was there a ton of relief just to get that first one out of the way?
I wouldn't say a ton of relief. I definitely, you know, was pleased with the result of that one. It was, you know, a lot of hard work goes into winning out here, and I was very pleased with how that week went. I wouldn't say necessarily a huge sense of relief. It's definitely a lot easier coming into this room. I came into it rarely before, but after, you know, Phoenix and Bay Hill, I'm coming in a lot more to talk to you guys. But I've answered it a few times. I never really – people have asked me kind of if, you know, winning really changed a ton for me and all these different things, and I don't feel any different after Phoenix. You know, it's nice to accomplish that goal, and, you know, my main takeaway is I want to keep doing it again. It was a lot of fun to be able to win that tournament, and, you know, Bay Hill was obviously great too, and, you know, I just like being out here competing, and that's what I look forward to.
You mentioned later tee times sometimes. Are there other perks, and did it change your life off the course anyway?
Not really. Life off the course is still pretty much the same for me.
Except you're married,
Yeah.
right?
Huh?
Except you're married now, right?
Yeah, I got married a little over a year ago, so that's been a lot of fun. And I would say life at home hadn't really changed too much. You know, I've had a few random people congratulate me when I'm eating, you know, eating at my local restaurants and going to the club. There's a few more random people that will, you know, say hello and nice
Right.
job, which is fun. But outside of that, you know, not much has changed.
And last thing, does this make you more prepared to win a major that you've won twice already this year?
I will say that, yeah. I think winning out here definitely. I always felt like I could do it, but I think once you actually accomplish that goal, it's a little bit different. Right. I definitely felt a little different on the course at Bay Hill in that final round. You know, whether it was the mistakes I made early in the round, those definitely didn't weigh on me as much as they had in the past.
Right.
And I kind of used that experience from Phoenix, where I did make a lot of mistakes on Sunday, and I was still able to kind of get the job done with a good finish.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay, we have 2 questions in this row back here. Then we'll go Art and then Doug.
Hey, Scotty, Bob Ballou, CBS Austin. I just wanted to ask you about John Fields a little bit, what he's meant to Texas golf. Obviously, you and Jordan are kind of the face of golf on the tour, but with Doug and Kramer and Johnny Vegas and on, what has he kind of meant to you and to Texas golf?
You know, I think if you asked any of the guys out on tour, whether it be the guys I played with like Bo, Kramer, and Doug, or the guys before me like Fratelli, Vegas, and Spieth, I mean, I think everyone would pretty much have the same opinion of Coach Fields. He's just a fantastic guy. He's a really good coach. You know, he put us all in a position in college where we were, if we wanted to, we were able to, you know, have a chance to succeed, whether it be the schedule we played, playing against the best teams, the best players, the best courses, and whether it be at home, you know, having the facilities to prepare and get ready for those events, and then, you know, supporting us as we turn pro as well. I mean, really just across the board, he really did a great job for all of us at the program.
Hey, Scotty. Hypothetical question for you, and I asked Coach Fields this, but if you took your 2016 runner-up team in Oregon and you faced the 2012 team that had Jordan, Fratelli, Cody Gribble, Hacula, Julio Vegas, who would win in a match play?
Us versus 2012?
Yes, sir.
Well, since they won the national championship, I guess you kind of got to give them the edge. You know, we came up just short, but no, I mean, you know, that's kind of one of those hypotheticals. You know, we could probably actually figure out now. You know, maybe we'll have to do that at some point. You know, a lot of the hypotheticals y'all deal with is different eras, but we're only 4 years apart, so maybe we could do it now.
Coach Fields said that without a doubt you would want to face Jordan. Is that true?
I mean, I'll face whoever. I mean, Jordan and I play a lot at home, so, you know, maybe I've seen enough of him. He probably wouldn't want to play me either. We see enough of each other at home, so maybe we spread it out a little bit.
Thanks.
Okay, Art and then Doug.
Scotty, being based in Dallas, just want to know what you know, if anything, about Southern Hills and Tulsa, and if you plan to go up there maybe for a little recon trip between now and May.
So I played Southern Hills twice in tournament golf, or actually 3 times. I played an amateur tournament there. I played 2 Big 12 championships there, and I haven't played the new course. From what I hear, it's not drastically different. They definitely made some changes and improved the course, but it's not a totally different layout. I'll definitely make a trip up there before Southern Hills, or before the PGA, just because it's convenient. It's close to home, so that'll be an easy one.
It's a pretty unique, you've been up there, pretty unique layout, the hills and everything. Is there one type of player you think that could be successful at the PGA in May?
I don't think so. I think Southern Hills is one of those places where when you're playing good golf, whether it be you're a short, long hitter, whoever you are, if you're playing good golf, you can score out there.
Okay. Doug?
I'm just curious, does Jordan talk to himself more when you guys are home playing golf or when he's at a tournament?
He's basically the exact same. I mean, it's the exact same.
I had a 2-part question that I don't want you to think is related at all. A, how much do you think your performance, how far did it go, do you think, in being a pick for Whistling Straits? And B, if
my performance here?
Yeah. And B, if you were the Ryder Cup captain, how much stock would you put in a performance this week?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think that, my experience in match play maybe had a little bit of a factor. I really don't know how I was ended up put on that team. Outside of a few of the guys, I had a vote from a few of the guys on the team, and I was just pretty blessed just to be a part of that team, and kind of going on as the last member pretty much. I was the lowest ranked guy as a rookie. There was definitely some people, and whether it be y'all in the media or people on Twitter or whatever, there's definitely some voices that said there could be other people that could go on the team over me, and I would have agreed with them at the time, and maybe this helped a little bit. I'm not really sure. If it was me as the captain, probably not too much. There's only certain players where, like, for instance, I think you look at a guy like Kevin Kistner, who plays really, really well at this tournament, seemingly every time, and then like a guy like Poulter, who just kind of destroys match play. But across the board, I don't think there's too many of those guys in American golf now. Not that we're bad at match play. I just think you see the guys playing good at stroke play events are probably going to play good here. I think you got to look at the whole body of work over 2 years to see who you really want to have on that team.
Great. Yeah.
Made me think of this as close as you and Sam are, and competitive too. I think even though none of us are Steve Stricker, it seemed like if it wasn't going to be you, it was going to be him. Does that ever get awkward in relationship when it goes to the other?
Yeah, so I would say it definitely could have. Sam's a great guy, and we're great friends as well, and so he handled that about as good as anybody could have. If we never really spoke about it, I'm sure it could have been awkward, but I talked to him that afternoon after the team was selected, and my heart hurt for him. It was tough, but he was happy for me to be a part of that team, and he was very celebratory of the way that tournament ended, and then watching him win Sanderson the next week was awesome for us at home, and so seeing him have the success and play good again last week, hopefully we'll both be on the team next time around.
Okay, we'll close it out. Last one with Kirk right here.
I was going to ask you about being a married man now. Does that affect your golf game? Does she travel with you on the road, or?
Yes. My wife travels with me pretty much every week.
Yeah.
It definitely made traveling a lot more fun. We have a great time out on the road. We get a ton of alone time. It's just us two. It feels really like we're a team, and so marriage for me has been awesome.
And the money you made, are you a big saver, or do you do some extravagant things you spend your money on?
Not really. I still drive the same car I drove in college and high school.
What kind of car?
I bought some. I think the only thing I ever really spend money on is food. That's pretty much it.
A lot of Tex-Mex, huh?
Yeah, a lot of chips and queso.
All right, Scotty, thank you so much for your time. Best of luck this week.
All right, thank y'all. Appreciate it. Yes.
Transcripts.